Everyone, it's Nick with Us versus Herd. If it's your first time here, you like the content, hit subscribe. If you want to get notifications from when we go live or post videos, tap the bell. And if you want to join the UVH fam, our community, links are below in the description to our Discord, our free option trading group, along with our Patreon. If you're here right now, say what's going on. It's Boris, Charles, Rob, Fario, what's going on? How we doing this Monday afternoon? We got some earnings going on today. I have 6 contracts on Microsoft at 142.50. Looking for them to go up tomorrow. Nice. King Jacob, Jeff. How we doing? If you made money today, comment got paid. If you lost money today, comment learned a lesson. Let's see what you guys did. We hit all new highs today on the S&Ps. Hey Kelly, Dan, what's going on? Happy Monday. Best day of the week. Fario got paid. Lesson. Keith, what's going on? Well, what did we do here? Learned lessons today. 1 day off of my SPY calls. Had the 304 calls for Friday. Sometimes that's how it be, though. You know, sometimes that's how it be. But yeah, we're gonna go through some earnings stuff today. I'm gonna go through my trades real quick. We're gonna see what's going on here. I'll probably pull up the Discord because I was doing some stuff on Tastyworks, but I was also trading some spreads on Robinhood, which you know. HD, what's going on, man? What's going on? All right. Well, today I got paid on Netflix today. Netflix was my only position open today, going into today, and the rest I just opened up. Going back to Netflix here. So Netflix was an interesting trade. So I've actually been bag holding Netflix. So Netflix, Scott, SPY call got paid. Nice. I have a Microsoft call too. Sure, I'm glad I chickened out of that debit spread. Yeah. So I put a position on, as you can see here, on 10/21. Which was the day before Verizon had earnings and they announced that Disney Plus partnership. So it was pretty bad timing. So I bought a position at like 253 when Netflix was up in here. It was like trading at 278. After we recovered, I thought I was going to push higher to like 280, 285. Obviously, that caused a problem. That news on Disney caused a problem here, and I was actually down at one point. I was down 80% on that position. Let me pull up those. I had the 295 calls for this week. I bought them last week, but I had the 295 calls for this week. Okay, so yeah, these went as low as 21 freaking cents, and my original position on I bought for $1.18. Gaurav got paid in different trades. If you're here right now, say what up. If you made money today, comment got paid. If you lost money today, comment learned a lesson. Everyone's bouncing in here. Black Pearl. I'm just gonna call you Black Pearl, I think. Derek. Andres, Jimbo. Derek says wrong account. So I was down pretty big, but I still believed in that position. I did only average down once. I wish I averaged down some more. So I bought it at $1.18. I averaged down at 52 cents. So, you know, I thought that that was the bottom. And I don't like to, the thing about averaging down, I don't like to just average down, average down, average down, because you just, like, if it's a trade that's not going to happen, like the most I'll average down is 2 times. I probably could have averaged down one more time. I probably would have averaged down at like 30 cents again, but I really didn't want to deploy more capital this trade. There was better opportunities in the market at the time. So I on the next day, so after the huge drop, I bought it at 52 cents, and then today I sold them both for $1.19. As you can see here, premium really spiked up today. So today the 295 call for this week, I mean, it opened up around 45 cents today and spiked up to $1.50. I sold it at $1.19. So I had 2. So it cost me, get the calculator here. So it cost me $1.18 plus 52. So it cost me $1.70, and I sold both for $1.19 today. 238. So it could have made more, but you know, that's the thing, is that if you, the only reason why you would hold on to a trade like that, I was trading more of a long term. It wasn't a day trade. It was definitely a swing trade from the beginning. And you know, if Netflix didn't take the hit, I think that we would have hit it a lot sooner. If Netflix didn't take that Disney news hit, I think we would have made it a lot sooner. Now, I definitely didn't rush back into a trade, because I mean, on something like this, you sell the spikes. You know, I sold at 906, which was on this spike here, which was a bit early, but you know, it's all good. It's all good. I recovered, so I made 40%. Instead of losing 80% or 100%, I made 40% on the trade. Tactical options, what's going on? Daniel, I'm not sure. A lot of stuff dropped that closed, actually, if you're looking here. Obviously, Nike dropped here. SPY was dropping in the close here. Microsoft was dropping at close as well. It's starting to come back up. Microsoft dropped a little bit too. So some weird price action after hours today with the earnings going on. So that was my only closing trade today. I did open some trades up on Nike, Microsoft, and BYND. Nike, I did put a trade on. Now, Nike, I bought the 92 calls. I was looking for it to run to like 93 area. And what I was thinking on this one was, I thought like 90.50 was max pain. But it was holding here pretty well. But as you can see here, this really took a hit. But I was really playing. I probably should have waited till it broke like the lower 90s. But this is one of those things that you're a support and resistance trader, and you're really close to where you think that it's going to drop to, and then it's not dropping, and you enter in a position. So I entered a position in here, and then it dropped, right? So, and that's where it's been dropping to like the lower 90s, so like 90, 20, 90, 30, 90, 40. It did drop today to like 90, 17, 90, 20 area before bouncing back up. So, you know, that's one of those things. This is one of those things is where you have a good idea, but your patience, you know, you have to be to make money in the market, you have to be patient. And at this point in time, I wasn't that patient. I thought I took it like, well, if it drops like 30, 40 cents, you know, that's okay. It'll recover. But I mean, it dropped pretty hard from 90, from 91 almost down to, you know, almost to breaking 90 almost. So before recovering, Nike's where we should have tanked in that China news last week, but held up. Yeah, I mean, Nike. The thing about Nike is what's been holding them up here is earnings. So they had a really good earnings. It went from 90 up to 95 came back down to 90 area, went back up to like 94 area, came back down, then broke up to 96, and then we had, we had some selling last week. So we'll see if it bounces. We'll see if it bounces here. We went in a small position, but that's why you need to be patient when you're trading. Just because it's staying the same doesn't mean it's going to not retouch those support and resistance. Sometimes you think, oh, I got close enough, or sometimes in this instance, you can see, I think it's definitely recoverable, so it's not a big deal. I mean, that position, I mean, it's down $38, so it's not the end of the world. But if I was a little bit more patient, we wouldn't have that. If I was a little bit more patient today on that one, but okay. Microsoft, I got the 145 call for 88 cents. So Microsoft gapped up huge. It did touch 146 pre-market. Microsoft gapped up huge on the their Pentagon cloud deal for $10 billion, taking that away from Amazon. Even though there was I don't know if it's rumors or somebody confirmed or what happened, but they're saying that Trump told somebody to deliberately not give that to Amazon at all costs. So we don't know if this stuff is true, but that's what news outlets are reporting. But we've been watching Microsoft for quite a while here, and we've been noticing it's been pretty much between 135 and 140, and it would break and go below, break and go below, and it's been even on earnings, it went up, and it's just been chilling. So, I personally have been waiting for it to make a break, so that's why I went in with a call. I bought it at 12:42 p.m. So, yeah, I bought it right in here, and it was starting to kind of edge higher, but we sold off a little bit into close. But really, I mean, most things were not moving today. I mean, like, after we had a ramp up on SPY, I mean, we were trading like between 303.25 and 303.75. I mean, it was like 50 cents, 50 cent movement on SPY. I mean, it's like terrible. I mean, after the gap, if you didn't make, you had to have swung a position there to make any money, because it went from 303 to 303.85. I mean, you could have bought it open, but I generally don't like to. But I mean, that was, anyways. And then I bought a position on BYND, bought a 310 call for 85 cents. I did trade this a little bit last week, but BYND, what I was looking for here was a break of like the 294.50 area. It is making some higher lows on the 1-year chart as well. So, we may have down day, but it's edging higher here on BYND as well. So it did break that. I bought it at 249. So I bought it right into close. So it did break right here, the 295, and then I put the position on. That's up a couple bucks right now. So, we'll see how BYND goes. Most of my trades right now, I'm not looking to get into very many day trades. I'm mostly just looking to put on good positions, be patient, make some money, because when volatility is low, that's what you gotta do. But for Tastyworks, I mean, that was pretty much it. Let me pull up my Discord here. Okay, I did a couple spreads in Robinhood on Boeing. I did a spread for next week, a debit spread. I got the 360 call, about 360 call, and I sold the 362.50 call for 28 cents. BYND. So I did do a BYND play, which we'll talk about BYND here beyond. It only cost me 20. I did do an earnings play, which I never do, but I thought that they were going to beat earnings. Everyone's betting against them. I think that they're doing, for a new space, I think they're doing relatively well. So I'll go over that trade in a second here with the earnings. And then I did also did a debit call spread in Robinhood on Tesla. So BYND. So BYND this morning. Let me get to my. Probably not going to do many more trades on Robinhood. Where is it? Oh, here we go. Okay. Maybe I will. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing with Robinhood. I just figured I would do a couple trades because, I mean, the main thing about Robinhood is, I mean, I haven't traded on Robinhood in 8 months, 9 months since I actually executed a trade, but so many people still use Robinhood, so I've been running some trades on it. Health Rebel, what's going on? How you doing? So okay. So I threw a little bit of money in Robinhood. As you can see, like the P&L super choppy today. Do you use RSI to trade? I technically do not. Don't screw me today. Yeah, I mean, Keith, my trades in Robinhood, I've only just been trading. So the one thing about Robinhood is I don't day trade in here. Anything that I'm going to trade in Robinhood, I don't mind holding for a week. Anyone else having problems with Robinhood graph? Mine only displays the total of my account, not daily gains and losses. No, the one thing, I mean, because of the option pricing is, I mean, this chart gets all messed up. As you can see, it's going up and down, up and down, up and down. So you don't actually know. I was actually looking at Tastyworks to see what the pricing was because Robinhood was like saying like, you know, Beyond. So Beyond, I put this trade on at 10:20 this morning. So that was Eastern. So I put it at 9:20. And what I was looking for on Beyond is I caught this dip here. So at 9:20, I bought it right down here. It was like 99, 100, and then it recovered. Obviously, I only paid $22 for it. The expected move for Beyond was plus or minus $16. So, you know, for $22, I did a debit spread. So my max profit was going to be $78 on this. It did spike up to like 45 cents. However, you can't be too sure because Robinhood really wasn't telling what the pricing was very accurately. Did anyone have Robinhood freeze up around 9 a.m.? I wasn't really using it then. I put this is my first order. I put on at 9:20. Oh, jeez, just spilled all over. But Beyond, I mean, they make it look good. I actually haven't had one. Has anyone here had a Beyond burger yet? I have not. I'm a little scared. That anything cooked up in the lab like that is. But I guess in terms of GMOs and stuff and all that, I mean, I guess we're all eating the same crap. In regular. So Beyond Meat topped estimates. The company raised its revenue outlook, so they raised guidance, which is good. I've had it. It's an okay burger. Carl's Jr. on Beyond had a prime sirloin. They sell it at all the grocery stores here in Chicago, but it's like, I don't know, man. I don't know if I want to feed it to my kids. Like, you always get worried like they're gonna grow like a third arm or something, you know? Like, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I am not a vegetarian. I was just wondering if anybody had it and if it was good. I mean, I get, yeah, the sodium intake is pretty high, I think, but so is everything else we eat. The one thing about Beyond is the lockup period ends tomorrow. So what does that mean? that means anybody that had shares pre-IPO. So anybody who bought a piece of the company before it went public. So they're now able to sell their shares. So when a company IPOs, there's going to be a lockup period. So that way, on the very first day it hits the market, you don't have all these people flooding the market of shareholders with sell orders. Is essentially what they try to stop. And that way, it gives some time for the stock to even out, balance out, and do that whole thing, right? So that's why they have a lockout period. Now it expires tomorrow, so it's potentially why BYND's not going up. I mean, BYND beat EPS 6 cents versus 3 cents, so double. Revenue beat, and they raised guidance. However, it's as you can see here. I mean, BYND is currently trading at 99, which is not like out of range. It did hit 108. It closed at 105. So we're down $6. So if you did an iron condor on this, depending where it opens tomorrow, I mean, let's see, what did so they're saying $19 here for the expected move. What did Tastyworks say? And Tastyworks said $16. So let's say 17, 19. So just so you know, Tastyworks and Thinkorswim, they do calculate the expected move differently. So I don't know if you guys ever noticed that, but so they're saying $19, and right now it's only moved 6. So premium sellers are going to win this one if it opens at like 100 or anywhere within the expected move. I mean, iron condor would have been a good play on this. Selling premium would have been good on this. Selling puts, selling calls. If it opens at like 100 here, or even 102, 105. So my play, I paid $22 for it. My 115, I have the 115, 116 debit call spread. I bought a debit, so that's most likely going to be worthless. I do think, another reason why I put that trade on is because it's not expiring like tomorrow. We have all week, so if they get some upgrades and stuff like that. So if BYND gets upgrades, this could push higher, but I don't know. I didn't really risk that much money. I typically don't do many earnings plays. I mean, I do a couple a year. Most of the time I trade after earnings, so I'll probably trade BYND again tomorrow after, now that the report is out. But what's going to be interesting is what this lockout period is going to do. Health Rebel is going. It's going down. I mean, it's not really going down. I mean, it's down $5, but I mean, they're having the conference. They're on the conference call right now, so we'll see what happens there. But BYND is one of the few IPOs this year is actually doing well. Well, if it drops down to 91, I mean, it's still going to be a trade. I mean, I'm willing to trade BYND long or short at this point. I mean, at 98, so we're at 98. We're below here. We close the gap. So for 98, right now I say it's 50-50. It could bounce up from here to like the 110, 120 area, or I mean, we could easily go down to 80 as well. So I'm not saying that it's going to go up. I'm not saying it's going to go down, but right now it's like right in the middle, or it could stay the same. It could really stay the same. Now that the report is out, they beat guidance, they raised guidance, they beat EPS, they beat revenue. What's it going to take for them to go higher? What's going to take for them to go lower? I feel like there's going to be more buyers than sellers around 80 to 90 anyways, but we're going to find out. My logic is that Beyond Meat is on sale in Whole Foods. Well, at the grocery store I was at, I mean, it wasn't on sale for me, but hey, it doesn't really matter. So, we don't really, in terms of options traders, like we don't really argue if it's going to go up or down. The price is what the price is going to be. We do our best to, put our beliefs in line with that. But I mean, if it's breaking down, I have no problem shorting it. If it's ripping up, I have no problem buying it. As options traders, you kind of have to be unbiased because it's never going to go your direction if you're biased 100% of the time. You gotta You just gotta trade the price. I mean, a lot of people right now think that the stock market is going to be, the stock market should have been cut in half about 6 months ago. Yet today we're at all-time highs. So those people that have been shorting, it hasn't been working. But it doesn't matter what, the Fed's propping up a lot. I mean, a lot of things are going on. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter. What matters is the option price, the price of the stock or the stock market or that ETF or whatever you're trading. It doesn't matter what's happening. It matters what happens to the price after that. Like we still don't have a deal with China yet. We're at all-time highs. So I'm willing to. I don't mind trading both. Actually, I mean I would actually like BYND to go to 70. I bought shares at 96. I wouldn't mind BYND going to 70. I'm just saying. If BYND went to 70 or 80, I mean that'd be good. I think that would be good for. I mean, I guess it'd be bad for the people who bought it at 239. I think. But I mean, that's the thing. People were saying, from 45 up to 239 that this is the most amazing product on the planet. However, I mean, the thing is they're not unique. They do have competitors. I mean, there is a bear case here. But what I'm mostly concerned right now is growth over the long term and not forever. As a shareholder of any stock, you need to know when to get out and when to get in. Like you don't just hold something forever. I mean, unless you're Warren Buffett, but if he was buying BYND 100%, he'd hold that forever. I mean, if you want to do something like that, but for a shareholder who wants to reap the benefits in their lifetime, you have to know when to get out. Like what's your target? You want to hold it for 5 years, 10 years. I mean, when you're holding stocks long term, you're going to be leaving money on the table. BYND is such a low flow stock, a move to 70 or 120 would be nothing, especially with all the speculative. Yeah, I mean, it really could. I mean, the last week it went from 120 down to sub 100. So not saying it's going to reverse, but it did fill this gap here. Made millions in being an owner, long owner of Fit. Good day today. Nice. Yeah, I mean Google wanting to buy Fit. So let's get into Google earnings right now. So Google like Amazon starting to recover quite a bit here. I like this picture they used. Oh, they got rid of it. So CNBC, in order to be first, they pre-type up their articles. So what the minute the report comes out, the article is not up to date. So they update it. So this was published an hour ago. However, look, it was updated 9 minutes ago. So the same article, they change the picture, they add video, they keep updating the article as more information comes out. So as a news outlet, this is kind of why the algos get crazy, because it's not always about being accurate for them. It's about being who published it first, so they can rank higher in Google and push it out to get traffic, right? Who's there first versus accuracy. And then they revise and they keep revising and revising the same article with news that comes out and when they're reading the earnings report. So just be aware of that if you're not aware of that. But one thing that I've noticed over what these news sites are doing, Google missed pretty big by $2 a share. Otherwise, the company's earnings report was pretty much as expected. Revenue beat barely, pretty much in line. Traffic acquisition costs in line. So, the question is for Google, is growth slowing? Google's back at new highs today, but now they're at what, 1270. So I mean, not doing too bad. They're right here. I mean, they're still at the top here for where they've been. I mean, they've been down to 977 in the last year, and ripped back up to like 1,300 almost, hit 12.99 today. So I don't know, anybody traded Google? I didn't trade Google because I had a feeling that they might miss, but with Amazon's price action, it's definitely better to trade after, like, Google. They were expected to move $67, and so far they are down what? They're down $17 right now. So Google's down $16-17. They were expected to move. So, this is more premium being eaten. So good for them. Good for the premium sellers because they've been getting wrecked. BSB Iron Condor out of the expected range. Nice. You'll be sitting thick tomorrow. And that's kind of what I've been saying over the last few weeks when we've been seeing things go beyond the expected range, when we've seen stocks stay within the expected move. And that's why, like, in options, you can't just trade one strategy 100% of the time. Like, you can't just trade, oh, I'm just going to buy a call, I'm just going to buy a put, I'm just going to do a strangle, I'm just going to do an iron condor, because over the course of the year, it's not going to work every single time that you do it. You have to adjust. Ben, got you. Sorry, your username's a little weird. Derek's got an iron condor on Google. Yeah, I'll be looking to trade it tomorrow. I did make some money. So I did make some money last week on Google on Friday when Amazon was running. I traded Google last Friday. I didn't go live, but I did trade Amazon when it was like 1260 area, and it pushed to, I traded in here on Friday. So I think it pushed from like 263 to 267. I traded this little tidbit here. Caught it a bit late, didn't push it, but we made some money on Friday. So I'll probably trade that. I'll see how Amazon is not really reacting, which sometimes you never know. STMP. So STMP, they've been having some trouble. They've been having some trouble lately because they ended their relationship with the USPS, which caused their stock go to 32. Then they need to deal with UPS, but it's not one that I typically trade. I've talked about this when I had the big gap up and the big gap down. It's something that you want to put on, like, you don't want to trade like weeklies on it, and there's like zero volume on these things. You're going to be trading like 100 to 200 days out, I would say. And there's like no volume on these, like 2 volumes. So it's not really something that I trade. I mean, if you want to trade it, I mean, I probably the better option just to buy stock if you're interested in it. They'll probably go back up if they do well with UPS, but it doesn't make for a very good trade. You could buy some calls just very far out if you want, but it's tough to trade no volume, and it's tough to just sit there. I mean, it's been just chilling 89 and between 89 and 90. Did today I was up 1%, but buying stock, I mean, you can buy stock and hedge it with options if you want to. I mean, like some people have positions on stock, so I was telling some people I know that have Amazon stock that they purchased, and they're like, oh, I think they're going to miss this earnings. I'm like, well, you can always like if you're one thing is, if you're long term, you don't really care about what the stock price is like tomorrow or next week or whatever. You care what it is like a year, 5 years, 10 years from now, right? So if it's something you believe in 5 years, 10 years from now, owning stock doesn't really matter what the price is next week or next month. You care about what the price is next year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years from now, right? But if you can take advantage, like if you have a lot of exposure, especially like in an economic downturn or something like that, where you're holding stock but you don't want to liquidate, you can hedge those positions with options. And you could get back to break even through options. So you can own stock and then or if you want, you could sell covered calls and stuff, depending on how much stock you own. So I mean, there's a lot of options you can do. I don't think if you do your research on stock and it's something that you want to do long term, the risk is very low. Because I mean, what are the odds? Like in options, your investment can go to zero. The chances that your stock is going to go to zero, the chances of Amazon going to zero, is basically non-existent. I'm not saying they can't go to zero, but I mean your chances for an option on Amazon to go to zero is a lot higher than Amazon stock going to zero or saying SPY is going to go to zero. You know, Derek's been stocking up on BA. So BA was a trade that I did today as well. I did a debit spread for next week. I have the 360, 362.50 debit call spread. I was just looking forward to make a break to 150. I really thought that it was going to today until it just totally crapped on itself. You know, it just came back in. I thought we were going to have the breakout that we deserved, Derek, but it got stopped here again at 345. I thought there was a lot of momentum. I thought it was going to bust through here. I put a position right around here at like 343 area. It ran to 345 and just failed hard. But we've been talking about this a bit on the live stream that, you know, Boeing and Caterpillar and these big name stocks had terrible earnings, yet their stock is going up, like, or staying the same. Like their stock I feel like Boeing wants to go up despite all the bad news and, you know, the amount of institutions that hold it, the short float's only like 1%. I mean, and if you tune into like CNBC or any of those guys, they're always telling callers or investors to buy the dip. People are like, oh yeah, well I'm in trouble on my Boeing stock, and they're like, oh, this is a buy the dip opportunity. This is a great opportunity. People are dying on the 737 Max, and it's a great buying opportunity, and Boeing is going to learn from their mistakes and move on higher, which they could, but I don't know. Johnson & Johnson as well. I mean, Johnson & Johnson, I mean, they were up today as well. Yeah, they're up almost. They went up to 130 again today before falling down. TIF, they had some sort of, was it a merger or buyout, I believe, for Tiffany's? So obviously, you know, your options are going to pay pretty huge. I mean, this is like 17,000%, 3,000%, but I mean, nobody was really trading these beforehand. Great for stockholders. They refused. Let's see. Would I strangle Tiffany's? Let's see how many strikes they have here. So let's see, do they have any strikes on the monthlies? Is that 129 here? I mean, yeah, you could strangle this. You could do like 150 to 125. They refused. I thought it was for sure. Let's look it up. Tiffany's. Tiffany shares jumped more than 30% after LVMH confirmed it was interested in buying the jewelry maker. So, doesn't say they did. Tiffany said the offers were worth $120 per share. So right now, $129. Analyst said Tiffany could be worth $140 to $160 per share. Okay, so yeah, I see here. I'll pull this over for you guys. So, analyst saying it's worth $140 to $160. The offer was $120. I generally don't like. I mean, you can do it. I personally don't like trading buyouts and mergers and all that. I have in the past, and for these companies to come in, I mean, they could come to an agreement, but most times it takes so long for them to do anything. It's just like it kills your options. So if you were going to do anything, I mean, you're going to want to price it, 100, 200 days out. That's what I would do if I was going to trade it. Yeah, I mean, there's not much volume on these things. There's some volume on the January 135. On the January 135, there is 5,000. Then there is some volume on the puts. So January 2020, we have some volume on the 120 puts, the 110 puts, the 115 puts, and then the 135 calls. Let's see, December. They don't even have enough strikes yet. So we'll see. We'll keep an eye on this, but maybe volume will pick up, because a lot of times when things get interesting for stock, volume will start picking up, and people will start trading it. So we can keep, that's something we could keep an eye on. But if you're gonna say put a strangle on it today, I definitely wouldn't. Had been having a good week though, even before this. Went from 88 to 103. So I mean, they weren't doing bad before this news. So the thing is, very few people were probably made, other than stockholders. Very few options traders were probably made money on this, because not a lot of people were trading options on it. Glad Fidelity went to free stock trades after Schwab. Now they just need to do options like Robinhood. Yeah, and Webull has options coming out in November, so that's going to be interesting. With the whole brokerage war thing, I mean, I think it's great, because guess who's winning this battle? It's the customers. Now, as long as they hold up like Fidelity, E-Trade, TD Ameritrade, Tastyworks, all those people, as long as their support holds up, I mean, I'm good for whatever. We're winning. So, anyways, guys, I'm gonna do a week ahead watch list video later today. If you guys like the content so far, hit the like button. I'd really appreciate it. It means a lot. I'm gonna sign off now, but as always, stay safe, stay green. It's us versus herd. Tan, you're late.